The fact of the matter is, Chloe, that they've spent 32 million quid on this winter sports programme, and they gave it the sort of, the big expectations when they had their press conference in London a couple of weeks ago. They talked about being this potent force that was going to punch above its weight, and so far they haven't.
Now, before the Winter Olympics began, Team GB were hoping to win 8 medals, but where are we now? I think it's day 8 today, and not a single medal has been won yet. However, Matt Weston on skeleton is favourite for gold today. Let's speak to Matt Lawton, chief sports correspondent for the Times, who is there. Morning, Matt.
Morning.
So I was watching Matt Weston yesterday. Brilliant runs. I mean, he broke the track record on his first run and he still wasn't happy. He didn't think that was good enough. His second run, a bit happier. What are his chances today?
Yeah, I think he's going to be very difficult to beat. As he said, he was first down the ice yesterday, broke the track record. He'd actually gone faster in practice in the week, but it was still a very quick time. And then in the second run, the 2 German guys who were the gold and silver medalists from Beijing went quicker still. And by then, because they then, after the first run of 4 runs, they do it in order, descending order of who's in the lead. And they were sort of low 56s, these guys, and Weston goes down and bangs in a 55.8. So he's 0.3 of a second ahead. All the more impressive because the British team failed at the Court of Arbitration for Sport in having their aerodynamic new helmet approved. So there's been a story of helmets in the skeleton this games. But yeah, he's absolutely flying. He's dominated the World Cup this season. He's the World Cup champion. He won 5 of the 7 races. And I met him a couple of weeks ago in Bath at Bath University for their kitting out parade. And you meet certain athletes and that you can spot the ones who have just got it. They're just absolutely sort of steely competitors. And I just don't see anybody getting past this guy.
That's great. I look forward to that. Let's talk a little bit about some people questioning whether Team GB at this stage are slightly underperforming. We spoke to you as the games got underway with a hope of winning 8 medals. And there have been so many nearlies. Yeah. Kirsty Muir in freestyle skiing, Mia Brooks in snowboarding, mixed curling, figure skating. I realise many of those athletes have got another turn at another event. But is it slightly disappointing? Are they slightly underperforming?
No, I think it is disappointing, and I think you can tell Eve Muirhead, who's the chef de mission, obviously the Olympic champion from the curling 4 years ago. You see her sitting there watching, often with Princess Anne sitting next to her, looking increasingly concerned. The fact of the matter is, Chloe, that they've spent 32 million quid on this winter sports programme, and they gave it the sort of, the big expectations when they had their press conference in London a couple of weeks ago. They talked about being this potent force that was going to punch above its weight, and so far they haven't. Now, look, Charlotte Banks could win a medal at lunchtime today in the snowboard cross. It's a bonkers sport, and anything can happen. But she is, one of the best in the world. And obviously, 4 years ago, I think she went in as favourite and came 9th, because it is bedlam on snowboards, basically, which would probably be my intro. I probably shouldn't have said that. Oh, God, can't he think of anything original? But no, so it's by the end of next week, it could be looking a lot more positive. But so far, it's not been terribly impressive.
I'm always interested in the psychology of this, and we've heard this in Summer Olympics before. I'm thinking Super Saturday and stuff like that. When one Team GB gold or even medal comes, I don't mean even medal, that's amazing to win a medal at the Olympic Games, but when one comes, it almost inspires other people. They lift their game. It takes them to another place. Do we sort of need that first one and then the others will come?
Yeah, it does always act as a catalyst. Like, I remember being in Rio in 2016, and Adam Peaty suddenly, delivers this world record breaking performance to win gold in the swimming pool, and then others followed. Quick funny story about that: there was all this interest in his girlfriend, and I rang home 2 days later, and my daughter said, one of my friends' boyfriends won a gold medal at the Olympics the other day. And I was like, Amy, we've only had one. Who's? How do you know the girlfriend? And she was in my politics class in A-level. And I'm like, you do know what I do for a living, don't you, Amy? So yeah, it's
that's a classic teenager. I love that.
It is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah. But no. Sadly, Petey wasn't with her for very long. But no. It does. Often it sort of sparks the avalanche, which probably isn't a word you should say around here. But no. But no, I don't know whether there'll be such an avalanche here. I do think Tabitha Stockler, I think is how to pronounce her surname. She's also looking like a serious medal contender in the skeleton. She's been in the top 2 in all the practice runs. You know, clearly they put a lot of money into research and development of the actual sled and the kit. You know, they're using the same kit that the cyclists use. So they're fast, right? Yeah. And that's why we do turn up in a sport like skeleton, which you would think would be something that the more traditional sort of winter nations would be good at, but we're good at it. We get Formula One teams involved in helping. We stick them in wind tunnels. You know, we put a lot of investment into it. So, you know, we could have, and then there's the combined as well in the skeleton. We could have 3 medals from the skeleton alone. So it could be looking a lot brighter by next Sunday.
And we should mention before I let you go, the men's curlers, because they were looking great yesterday as well.
Yeah, and they beat Sweden, which for Bruce Moat was a little bit of revenge. So look, again, like by in a week and a bit's time, things could be looking much more positive. But it has been, you know, I came to Bormio Livigno hoping to see Mia Brooks, this phenomenon from Cheshire, on a snowboard, do the business in the big air, and she came fourth. And there are fine margins in this. We shouldn't be too hard on them, particularly when they're, Mia Brooks is 19. I don't know we should dwell too much on her.
Mia Brooks, to be fair to her, did the tricky skill. She just didn't quite get it round, and then they just didn't score it, which just seems so hard.
She went for something that had never been done in the Olympics. Now that was partly because she had to, because her first two runs hadn't scored high enough. But if she'd nailed it, it would have been, we'd have all been raving about the brilliance of her. And I do love her story. She's, again, she learned to snowboard at the Trafford Centre in Manchester. It is a fabulous facility, the indoor ski centre there. But it's great when we see these kids, punch above their weight against, teenagers from Switzerland and Austria and so on.
Who've literally grown up on the slopes, haven't they?
Yeah, quite. Yeah.
Listen, Matt, it's lovely to speak to you, and hopefully next time we do, we'll have a medal in our pocket. That's Matt Lawton, Chief Sports Correspondent for The Times.